In this video, I'm going to be showing you a great way to paint your Khorne Berzerkers no matter your skill level, even if you've not painted before. And so you can follow along, this is an easy to follow step-by-step guide explaining all the steps and techniques, so you'll have the confidence and knowledge to get your own Khorne Berzerkers fully painted. And if you stick around until the end, I'll be showing you how to paint some of the more fun things like plasma weapons and skulls for the skull throne. Welcome to TableTopReady, my name's Michael, and I want to show you in this video that painting Khorne Berzerkers doesn't have to be difficult, and once you know how, you'll have some miniatures you can be really proud of. All of the paints and brushes I use throughout this tutorial will be shown on the screen as I use them, and they'll also be listed in the description along with any other hobby equipment I think you find useful, with affiliate links to where you can buy them. And before we get started, I want to say a massive thank you to all the amazing people who've made this tutorial possible with their continued support. It really means a lot. It allows me to get all the paints, brushes and miniatures I need to make these tutorials, so I can continue to help you get better at painting. As well, if you enjoy my content here on TableTopReady, then let me know by clicking that like button, and why not leave me a comment. I love reading them and hearing about your own hobby. Before we get started, we'll have to get our miniatures ready for painting, which I've made a dedicated video about on the channel. For this video, I'll be showing you that we can paint our miniatures fully assembled, but feel free to use sub-assemblies if you want to, it's up to you. I've also chosen to undercoat my Khorne Berzerkers with Mephiston Red, but know that you can use whatever undercoat you want, the steps are still the same. Let's start by getting the trim and other metals painted so we don't have to worry about being messy. The first colour we want to get painted is Runor Brass, and this is for all the trim on our Berzerkers. For best results when painting, we always want to thin our paint, and I find an equal amount of water does the trick. And I would also remove excess paint on some paper towel first so we don't have an overloaded brush when painting. And when we're ready, we want to keep our brush moving and avoid going over areas we've already painted, to prevent creating any unwanted texture whilst the paint is still drying. When you're done, because we thinned our paint, it won't have covered very well, so let's repeat the process and paint another layer. This also means we can build up to a solid colour without losing any details in our miniatures. Just make sure to let each layer fully dry first before doing another one. The next colour we want to paint is Lead Belcher for all the silver details, and this is done in exactly the same way as we did for our Runor Brass. And if you have any bullets you want to paint, you can use some Retributor armour. Something else we need to understand is we're allowed to be messy and make mistakes. It's all part of the fun, and we can neaten up and correct any mistakes as we continue to paint. We need to remember that we might not be very good at something when we're first starting out, and it takes a lot of time and practice when it comes to learning new skills. We all have to start somewhere, and for me the most important thing to do is to make sure we're enjoying what we're doing. With the metals painted, let's see how we can make our details easy to see, creating definition. So the next thing to do on our metals is to apply a couple of shades. We want to use Seraphim Sapphire for our trim and Norn Oil for our silver details. When applying a shade, we want to use enough so we cover these areas comfortably to avoid it building up too much in areas we don't want it to. If you do see this happening, then we can remove any excess we don't want with our brush. Then once both of our shades have dried, you'll see how they've helped to bring out all of those rivets and details. To bring out the details even more, we can do a dry brush, which is a nice easy way to pick out edges and raise details. We're using Stormhouse Silver, and we first want to work the paint into our brush before removing as much as we can on our paper towel until it's no longer coming off the brush. Once you're ready, let's move our brush rapidly across details, so these are the only areas which paint will deposit, leaving recesses and shallow areas untouched. Take your time doing this and build your highlights up slowly, as we don't want to overpower what you've already done. After you've done the dry brush, we've finished all of our metals, and we can move on to painting our red armour and work on getting all of our other details finished as well. The next thing we need to work on is getting all of our base colours painted ready to create definition. Let's start with the red armour using Mephiston Red, again making sure we thin our paint and use multiple layers to build up a solid colour. Now the red armour is painted, let's work on any black details using Abaddon Black, and this would be things like pipes, ribbon under the armour and weapon casings. When it comes to painting the different materials on our Berzerkers, we can mix and match across the unit, and the colours we can use are Corvus Black, Rakarth Flesh and Dryad Bark. We can use reference like on the Warhammer website if you need help deciding what colours you want things to be. After you've gotten all those details painted, take some time to neaten everything up before we move on to creating our definition. Our definition is again going to be created using a shade. We're using Khorne oil, but this time we want to thin it down with an equal amount of lime medium. This is going to dilute the strength of the shade so it doesn't overpower the colours we've just painted. Apply the stim wash in the same way as earlier across all of our Berzerker, this time to help create even more definition. And once it's dried, because we thinned our shade, we still keep the vibrance of our base colours. If you want to, we can define the armour even more with the recess shade, which involves using a shade or painting directly into details and recesses, which isn't as messy as doing a wash. For the red armour, we can use our Khorne oil just as it is from the pot. Then once that's done, we can work on highlighting everything. And to highlight these details, instead of doing a dry brush, I want to show you how to edge highlight. Let's work on highlighting the red armour, first using Squig Orange. And the idea behind highlighting is to bring out any edges, areas and raised details to draw our attention to them, and to make these features stand out even more. To make this easier, we can angle our brush and run it along an edge to create our highlight. And if you can't do this, then we just have to take our time, painting thin lines where we want those highlights to be. Creating highlights this way is a lot less messy than doing a dry brush. For me, highlighting has to be one of the most important techniques to really practice and get good at. Not only will it help to improve the look of our miniatures, but it also helps to improve our brush control and hand-eye coordination, making us better miniature painters overall. Let's continue highlighting using Dawnstone on any black details like tubing, rib detailing and materials. To make our weapon casings stand out against the other black details, we can highlight them using Fenrisine Grey, giving us a cooler tone of black. Light wraps can be highlighted with Pallid Witch Flesh, and brown leather details can be highlighted using Gawthor Brown. And if you want to paint any skin, we can use Kislev Flesh for a lighter tone and Catachan Flesh for a darker tone of skin. To finish painting the lighter tone of skin, we can apply some Zerafin Sapia, then highlight using Pallid Witch Flesh. To finish the darker tone of skin, let's apply some Khorne oil for definition, then highlight using Gawthor Brown. I think we're now ready to move on to the last part of this tutorial and paint the more fun stuff. We're now going to finish up this tutorial adding interest, painting some of the more fun details like skulls and plasma weapons. What our Khorne Berzerkers really need is a spot of colour and interest, so let's start by thinning some Nylok Oxide with our limey medium again and apply this to areas around our brass details. We don't need to overdo this, just applying this around some rivets as well as some recessed areas is enough. It's always worth spending the extra time and effort adding interest and painting the more unique details. Not only is this more fun to do, but it really elevates our miniatures. To paint any plasma coils, we first want to start with Baharoth Blue for our base colour. We can then paint some Sotek Green directly into the recesses to separate out the coils. Neaten up with Baharoth Blue if you need to. For any skulls, we can start with a base colour of Morghast Bone, and then something I really like to use for skulls is Skeleton Horde, which is a contrast paint. This is kind of like a shade but has a stronger colour and does a great job of creating a really nice bone colour in one application, creating definition at the same time. When that's dried, we can highlight our skulls using Screaming Skull. The last thing to do on our Khorne Berzerkers is to paint our lenses using Warpstone Glow. Now apply some Khorne oil into the recessed areas, finishing each lens painting a dot of white scar in the top rear corner. For this tutorial, it was really important for me to show you that we can achieve some really great looking Khorne Berzerkers, regardless of his skill level, and that we're even able to do the more fun stuff like plasma coils and skulls, which can be intimidating. So let's see how they turned out. But before we see the reveal, I do want to take a moment to thank Edgar, Ben Cooper and Tommy Stark, who have all recently become supporters or has donated to the channel. Thank you so much. And if you enjoy the content here on TableTopReady and want to help support the channel as well, you can become a channel member or join my Patreon, which gives you access to our Discord, regular updates, and you'll get to watch videos and tutorials early. We've now finished painting our Khorne Berzerker, and I hope I've been able to give you the confidence and knowledge to get your own painted. I've got plenty of other tutorials on the channel, including how you can go even further with your Khorne Berzerkers if you want to make them look even better. I really do enjoy making these tutorials and I hope you find them useful. If you do, then please leave a like and let me know in the comments below. As well, make sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss out on future content, and I'll see you in the next video.